and chains, luxury cars, sexy dancers. These are the symbols of African music industry. If you picture African music as nothing but drum beats and cowbells, well, you may be stuck a few decades in the past. Today, traditional folk music is now blended with new trends, and African artists are being internationally recognized. Ghana is only second to populous Nigerian market, and the business is certainly thriving. That's why in the first episode of Untold Africa, I wanted to feature an interview with one of the most talented dancehall artists, Mr. Shatta, Wale.
So Shatta movement, we're here live. That's my Sicilian friend, Gangster.
Your music has a real power to influence people's lives. How do you feel that?
I believe it's a blessing, and I believe it's a motivation to others too as well. So it makes me feel good though. I found myself trying to pursue a career that nobody understood, and I really grew up with parents who were strict. I had this mind of me being myself. It wasn't easy though. With your kind of life that you live in Italy, should be the kind of life like that everybody should live.
But like with so many people, trying to be wealthy, trying to gain their future, do you feel lucky of your position?
Anywhere I go, I tell people about God and how great He's been to my life. It's everybody's dream to maybe sit somewhere lonely without having anything to do. I believe everybody has this big mind of creating things for themselves. And
music is also an industry, a business industry, and lots of money is involved. How do the two things match each other?
Music comes to you when he feels like, so you always have to also be on the alert to utilize him when it comes, Yes. For instance, if you find excavators, stick the ground and get gold out of the ground. When you get the gold, you make good use of it. That's how I see music. I believe people don't really see music like, yeah, this is it. Let me just take advantage of this guy and climb on where I want to go to. But, people don't think like that in Ghana, but it has always been my vision for musicians in Ghana to picture that thing so that they can differentiate between the music and the business.
And I know that your music has been connected also to the elections.
Yeah.
Because in 2016, the Kakai song was an anthem of the election. How can this happen?
Music is also power. It's a powerful tool that people don't really respect. I feel so happy, seeing politicians, using my song. It wasn't only the opposition party, but it was a ruling party too, who was using another song.
Both of them.
Yeah, Mahama Paper and Kakai at the same time, and I was like, wow. It has never happened in Ghana though, so I feel blessed too for that.
But would you ever engage into politics if anyone asked you?
Well, I would if I see from the direction I'm coming from. I stand for the ghetto youth. I came from a place where, you find like hustlers, and everybody's struggling to make it in life. That is Nima, maybe one day I might stand as a politician.
You're going to get mad with me. But why is Nigeria always ahead in the game with music?
I won't be mad with this. I like questions like this. Nigeria is ahead of us in music. My colleagues here don't take the business serious. Nigerian artists take music business serious. And I respect them for that. I always tell people that when I see people doing stuff that I feel I can get connected to and also fish what I got to fish from it, I'll follow that trend because everybody wants to make money.
When I go in the street, I can see a lot of people, vendors, selling CDs. Piracy seems to be widespread. So what is the main source of income for an artist like you? Is more the live concert, the merchandise, or the royalties?
The government doesn't really put his eyes on musicians, You hear them talk about creative arts and blah, 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 but it's not affecting the musicians. And the musicians are doing like great works in Ghana. We're not getting paid in Ghana. Most of the musicians are suffering from royalties, We have big artists who have made big names, but don't have their royalties getting to them. We are not getting anything, like from day one. From my grandfather's time, his best musician who was alive, I think they were all dead together. Most of them died like poor. I don't have to live rich. My colleagues have to live rich. Because of timidity and fear, most of them can't even come out when there is an occasion because they feel, I don't have a car, I don't have good clothes, Some of them like to borrow too, and most of them who like to borrow, they come on TV and they talk plenty.
Because something that happens very frequently in African videos. The artist likes a lot to parade with gold, with weapons, with money, or with luxury car. It is like a status symbol. Do you think that this is a correct message for the people that in Ghana are poor?
Everybody in the way he or she wants to package himself. When I'm going to look for a job and I go in my slippers, normally dressed, and my qualifications are good, they're going to take me. They don't watch the way I dress, you know, even though I might look a little bit presentable. That is what the white man wants to see. The white man doesn't like lies. The black man wants to, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll give you the job. So
the outlook is very important.
It's very important in Africa.
So if you had to give an advice to people how to become wealthy in Africa, what is the fastest way?
Let people see your hustle. Let people feel your struggle, like me. Now I can drive any car I like and nobody can tell me that I'm flaunting, you know, because people know my hustle. But if people don't know you and you really want to flaunt out like that, then you're being fake. I don't like to impress people. I like my chains, all right, you know. Since I was a kid, I was always like that, you know, so that is me.
So you have been in Italy, you told me.
Yeah.
What's the difference that you remarked with Africa? Like the thing that impressed you the most?
I think some of the streets, you know, the bricks on the streets and the cars, you know, we don't have some here. And your buildings. I think some of the buildings have been kept well, you know.
If you were based in Europe, do you think you would have earned more money?
Yes, if Europe people would understand that I'm Shatta wale, Europe people would behave like Ghanaians. For instance, if like I was born there and I'm like this, like I would have been making enough money because the system works.
So this is why, in your opinion, many African people, not only Ghanaians, want to go to what they think is the European paradise.
Yeah. Some of them feel that is the better place for them to survive, but it's the mentality. I would want to stay in Ghana and use my brains to make money in Ghana, you know, but if you want to go to Europe, don't go cause problems. Nobody wants to come and tell the truth home, you know, so it's crazy.
Wouldn't it be better to convince people, I would say, the smartest people, to stay in their homeland and struggle for their country?
You would advise people, and they might think what you're saying is not real, because Kojo has been there and is building a 5-bedroom house in Ghana. I believe it's the brains, and it's how you get closer to God and ask Him for directions. You know, most people don't ask God for directions, so you find most people living in Ghana and going to the Europe countries with drugs, you know, stuff like that. But if you have a direction in life, you would know what you want in life.
Last day I was reading a survey from Afrobarometer. It comes out that 41% of the Ghanaians were thinking to emigrate, and 20% of them really meditate on the idea to emigrate. So did you ever think in your life, I want to go out of this country?
Yes, at a particular time. You know, because I was hustling, you know, I was, you know, really going through, you know, hard time.
You must have many haters since you are famous and powerful and influential.
Yeah, you know, but not at this time, you know, when I was hustling, you know, when I was like struggling to get to the top, I was like, oh, I should leave this and go to like
where?
London or something. I used to live in London, so I was like, no, let me just go and stay with my grandma because I said, nah, we can do this.
Say a word to the more than 100,000 Ghanaians living in Italy. What would you say them? You have the opportunity to tell them something.
My only message to every Ghanaian who's living in Italy as well, and maybe Europe, is that we are all like struggling. Ghana is your home. You can build that dream that you really want to build in Italy. Same here. So I would advise everybody who's living outside and struggling and feels he or she wants to come back home to come. And don't feel you are going to be disgraced. You know, it's God's plan. Listen to my word, man.
Do you know the Ghanaian singer Bello Figo?
Bello Figo. Well, Figo means it's Italy. You know, yeah. No, but
okay, I want to show you Bello Figo.
Bello Figo.
Yeah. I don't have my hands dirty because I'm already black.
Okay. In every disgrace, there is grace. So if he felt at a point in time like, yo, people are not listening to me, what can I do for Italians to listen? If I was in Italy, I would do the same thing. In their hearts, they might feel, or in their minds, they might feel, oh, this guy, what is it? But in your hearts, when they see you, they go like, no, I like this guy, it's good. And that's how come you start get following. You start get like people following you. So I think it's a good strategy. I like the guy.
It came to my mind, I should teach Shatta wale Sicilian.
Mbare.
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 Mbare, yes.
Mbare
Right.
Mbare post. No, I like to watch like Il Padrino. I like that one. That's the Godfather.
Yeah.
Il Padrino. Sono Mamoriano. Me, I'm good, but I can say Usai Kusu Cristiane.
Okay.
Sono Mamoriano. Maybe I should hello? Maybe I should have a Milanchana.
Yes. You have to be like
With some cocoa
threatening.
banana.
And I like it in Ghana.
We know in a mix up, so we never match with them and them see them black jack.